we're gonna burn the candle. Okay, this is a long-awaited video for me. Oh, wait. We also have a blue slush Alani because we woke up this morning, we had a really bad headache, we went and we got the final books for this video. So, and put it in. Hi besties, what's up? My name is Meg. Welcome or welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we are doing my long-awaited book haul from the summer of 2025. Now, this is going to seem like a lot of books, and it is a lot. It's a lot of books. But some of them I have piled separately, some of them are for future videos, so if you see them in this video, they might not necessarily all be for books for me for reading for fun. Some of them are for future videos that I have planned. Now that I have that out of the way, we are going to start with two books that might not necessarily be seen for a while, considering that I'm still in the use of my reading journal, but I did indeed get two more. We did indeed. One of them, they had a sale going on, and then the other I really liked. So we got two more reading journal books. So you can be looking forward to any reading journal updates of any kind. So that'll be super fun. Next, these are for future videos. So you're just going to be seeing kind of what they are. I'm not going to tell you too much about them, but that I did get them from Books A Million. I got 4 books in totality, and they are 4 blind date with a books. When I was talking to the Books A Million employee, she said that they've been wanting to do blind date with books for a while now, but the higher ups in the company had finally agreed, so they had a whole, probably should have taken a video, but I wasn't thinking about it, but they had a whole rack front and back full of books that had tropes, they had descriptions, they had different things, along with they decorated each one with a cute little wax melt. So these are for future videos. I have already separated all of my books. So I think we're going to start with our first stack, which is all the books that we have read previously this year, but we got during this summer. I got my little stack right here. I read the first 8 books of Zodiac Academy at towards the beginning of this year. And I'm actually missing one of the Zodiac Academies. We had placed the order, it's in the mail. I thought it would be here in time for this video, but it is not. But know that that book, when I get to it, I have it coming to me. So we have the 4th book, Shadow Princess by Carolyn Peckham and Suzanne Valenti. So we have Shadow Princess. We have Cursed Fates. We have Fated Throne, which actually is my zodiac symbol. I'm an Aquarius. Fun fact. And then we also have book 7, Heartless Sky. We have book 8, Sorrow and Starlight, coming in the mail. If you notice that I am missing books 1, 2, and 3, I got those in April of this past, I got it around Easter time. I got 1, 2, and 3 around Easter time. Next is a book that I scoured the internet for. They were re-releasing in a traditionally published version of Fairy Tale by Veronica Lancet, and I personally wasn't the biggest fan of the new cover. I really liked the original indie published cover, but obviously it was really expensive when I went to go look for it. So we scoured Facebook Marketplace. We found someone who was willing to ship it to us. So we got Fairy Tale by Veronica Lancet in the indie published version. Also, I don't know if you can see, but look at how small this print is. That's insane, bro. Alright, Alright, next book series that we read earlier in the year, but we got this summer, the first 3 books in the Heir of Broken Fate series by Mads Rafferty. We read those in another reading vlog where I originally thought that the 3 books that were out were a trilogy. I was dead wrong when I came to the end of the last book. So we have Heir of Broken Fate by Mads Rafferty, Heir of Broken Kingdom, and Heir of Broken Souls. Those are all the books that we got physical copies of this summer. Now, alright besties, next stack that we have are books that we bought this summer and we have read this summer. Okay, so we read Amid Clouds and Bones, The Wolf and the Wildflower, and The Savage and the Swan by Ella Fields. Now, these are all books that I highly recommend. They are a romantasy type and they are all standalone. As you saw, we bought and read 3 summer romances. So we have Beach Read by Emily Henry. We have Just for the Summer by Abby Jimenez. And then we have Summer in the City by Alex Astor. We also bought and finished Binding 13, Keeping 13, Saving 6, Redeeming 6, and as I'm filming this, you have not seen, but I have indeed finished Taming 7. Lastly, the book that we have bought this summer has been Rhapsodic by Laura Thalassa, which is book 1 in the Bargainers series. So we were really super excited. This is a part of a future video coming up, so keep an eye out for that. Alright besties, so next is books that we have bought this summer that we have started but we have not completed. So we have Restless Stars, which is the 9th book in Zodiac Academy, and then we also have started releasing 10, and personally I think that this book along with Taming 7 I had started filming and it just got a little bit too real for me, so we're putting a break on that. We'll come back to this video and it'll be up whenever I can get it up. So thank you for being patient. I appreciate it. Alright besties, now is on to our books that we bought this summer that we have not read, which looking at it is a lot. Yeah, it's a lot. So let's just get started. Alright, we're gonna start off with the books that we bought today. The second book in the Bargainers series by Laura Thalassa, which is A Strange Hymn, which as soon as I'm done finishing the video that I filmed Rhapsodic in, I will be immediately coming to this book and then immediately finishing the series as soon as possible. We also got the book Direbound by Sable Sorensen. So we're really excited for this. This has been on our radar for a while, so we're really super excited to read this. We also got Forbidden Alchemy by Stacey McEwen. A Forbidden Alchemy #1 does have sprayed edges. Next, we have Catabasis by R.F. Huang. I have been wanting to read Babel by her for a while, and as soon as I read about this one, I decided that this one to me was much more interesting to read first before I read Babel. Does indeed also have sprayed edges. Alright, our next stack that we have the second book in the Filthy Rich Fae series by Geneva Lee. So we have Filthy Rich Fae Fallen Court, and it's got the pretty sprayed edges. It's got pretty sprayed edges, because I know that the first one, if I remember correctly, the first one has like yellow sprayed edges. So our next book that we got is a part of the Sorrow Song University book 1 and it's Nightshade by Autumn Woods. The next book that we have, The Haunting of Ashburn House by Darcy Coates. I figured this would be a great book for spooky season. The next book that we got is For Whom the Bell Tolls by Jessa Lynn. The next book that we got is Insomnia by Stephen King. We got Spiral by Belle Cabara, because I love a good hockey romance. And I used to be a dancer, so this should be very exciting. The next book that we have is The Mysterious Bakery on Rue de Paris by Evie Woods. I have a couple other of her books, and I think that I'm really going to love these books. They sound like comfy, cozy fantasy books. The next books that we have is Psycho Shifters, which is book 1 by Jasmine Mast, and it's got pretty sprayed edges. Another book that we got is the 4th book in the Infatuated Fae by Janine O'Reilly, and it's Can You Take It? The next book that we got is Caught Up by Nevessa Allen, and this one has sprayed edges. It says, How Do You Want It? We also got The Monster and the Last Blood Match by K.A. Lindy, and this one has really pretty, just like floral sprayed edges. We also got the paperback version of Iron Flame, and that indeed also has sprayed edges. Okay, for our next stat, we have The Deathless One by Emma Hamm, and this is the first book in the Grave Singer series, I believe. I don't know if it's a series, duology, whatever. It's the first book. We're excited to read this one. It sounds really good. It's also really super short, so we're excited to read. All right, next books that we got are The Ever King by L.J. Andrews, and this is book 1 in the Ever Seas series. We also got the new edition of Quicksilver by Callie Hart, and this one has silver metallic sprayed edges. I have the original Fan Alchemy cover, the first cover with Kingfisher on the front. However, with Brimstone coming out, I did want my series to match, so we did indeed get the hardcover version so that way it can match Brimstone. I got my actually I shouldn't say it's my very first nonfiction because it's not. This is technically my second nonfiction book, but it's The Let Them Theory by Mel Robbins, and it says and Sawyer Robbins. We also got Tessa Bailey's It Happened One Summer, and this one actually came also with sprayed edges. I got Stephen King's 11/22/63. This was on the 50% off one book if you bought another book, so we obviously had to take up that deal at Barnes & Noble. And this is a book that has been on my radar for quite some time now. And this is also a book that I feel like my dad might like. So we want to read it first, see how we like it, and then we are possibly going to be recommending it to my dad. The next book that I got is Fear the Flames by Olivia Rose Darling, and I also got Wrath of the Dragons. This book has also been on our radar for quite some time now, and it is a part of the Bloodwing Academy. It's book 1, and it's On Wings of Blood by Briar Bolin, and this one has pretty sprayed edges. The next book that we got is The Cruel Dawn by Rachel Housel Hall, but it also has pretty sprayed edges. The next book that we got is book 1 in the Silver Cloak saga, which is Silver Cloak by L.K. Stephen, and this one has just blue edges. The next book that we got has also, obviously all these books that I got have been on my radar when I'm gonna read them all, but I do know that I'm going to read them all. Anyway, I got from the Broken Bloodlines the first book, which is Forged in Blood by Sadie Kincaid. I don't know how to pronounce it, but it also has pretty sprayed edges. The next book that we got, you might have seen in my Notion video. We have Gifted and Talented by Olivia Blake. The next book that we have is Julie Clark's The Ghost Writer. The next book that we got is book 1 in Arcana Academy by Elise Kova. Okay, besties, next stat. We got the 3rd installment of the Lakefront Billionaires, which is Love Arranged by Lauren Asher. We got Scarlett Sinclair's Terror at the Gates, which you saw in my Notion video. So if you haven't seen that, go check that out. We have A Theory in Dreaming by Ava Reed, and it has beautiful sprayed edges. We have Don't Let the Forest In by by C.G. Drews. We got The Summer Pact by Emily Giffin. The next book that we got is Till Summer Do Us Part by Megan Quinn. Once again, beautiful sprayed edges. We got Sword Heart by T. Kingfisher. Just like aqua, like greenish colored sprayed edges. We have The Enchanted Greenhouse by Sarah Beth Durst. Cozy fantasy, like an aquamarine color. We also, most of our Crescent City books were in paperback. We did, however, get a hardcover because it had bonus content back when House of Flame and Shadow came out, so we did indeed get the paperback version, so that way our collection can be cohesive. The next book that we got was Shield of Sparrows by Devney Perry, which beautiful sprayed edges. The next book that I got, I've been hearing mixed reviews on, but I got Silver Elite by Danny Francis. So this is the first book in the adult sci-fi dystopian fantasy, I guess. Our next book that we got is One Dark Kiss by Rebecca Zenteni. It also has cyber wiring type sprayed edges. I got the second book in the Sins of Zodiac, which is Echo Fort. Next, we got, so it's How to Seal Your Fate by Kristen Perrin, which is a part of the Castle Knowles series. The next book that I got is Den of Vipers by K.A. Knight, and this one has gorgeous sprayed edges. I got A Curse Carved in Bone by Danielle L. Jensen, which is the second book in Saga of the Unfated. This one comes with like red metallic sprayed edges. Alright besties, we are on to our last stat. So we got the next book in The Night Ends with Fire by KX Song. We got The Dragon Wakes with Thunder, and this one has like gorgeous sprayed edges. It's so intricate and detailed. It's so lovely. We got the nice pretty version of Scarred by Emily McIntyre. So, and this one says My Petite Mentusa, and it's got fire. The next book that we got is the Michael Crichton who wrote Jurassic Park. From what I understand is that he is passed, but he had outlined a whole book, and they had James Patterson actually write it, which is Eruption. And my grandma actually gifted me this after she read it, and she really loved it, so she thought I would love it too. So we are super excited to read this one just for grandma. Alright, our next book that we got is Accomplice to the Villain by Hannah Nicole Mayer, and it's got the green sprayed edges, so we're super excited. The next book that I actually got from a secondhand store when we were vacationing in Georgia, and it was actually a book of the month book. So we got The Unraveling of Cassidy Holmes by Alyssa R. Sloan. The other book that we got from that secondhand store was also another book of the month book, and it was The Two Lives of Lydia Bird by Josie Silver. The next book that we have is Rose in Chains by Julie Soto, the Evermore trilogy, and it's got beautiful sprayed edges. The next book that we have is The Irresistible Urge to Fall for Your Enemy by Brigitte Knightley, and it says it's the part of the Dearly Beloved, and it says book 1. The next book, I got the second book in the Oak and Holly cycle, which was The Robin on the Oak Throne, and this one also has gorgeous sprayed edges. We are down to our last 4 books. I promise we are almost done. Next, we have Three Shattered Souls by Mia Cortland, but it does have gorgeous sprayed edge. The next book that we got is the first book in the Stone Water Kingdom, which is The Night and the Moth by Rachel Gillig. Our second to last book is We Live Here Now by Sarah Pinborough, and it's got sprayed edges. Our last book that we got, I think, is a young adult book, and it's His Face is the Sun by Michelle Habez Corpora. I feel so awful if I butchered your name, but the book has gorgeous sprayed edges. Okay, besties, thank you guys so much for watching today's video. I hope you did enjoy. Comment down if you enjoyed any of these books, if you are looking forward to them, like any of your thoughts. I would love to know down in the comments below, or you can comment over on my Instagram. I'll leave my Instagram right here or down in the description below. I now need to go and input all of these into my Notion. Speaking of Notion, a few of you have showed interest in my Notion page, so I'm excited to say that I will be selling my Notion as a template through Etsy. So it will be a digital download, and I will have all of that down in the description below. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you did enjoy today's video of my summer book haul. Please do all of the YouTube things you know how to do, and I will see you in a bit. Bye!